Alright, welcome back. We are here with the final mission of the Asura section of Eye of the North. Genius Operated Living Enchanted Manifestation, otherwise shortened to G.O.L.E.M. Today I will be running it on my Assassin. My very first factions character, and I think my second oldest character now. This one I'm running a Way of the Assassin build here. And then he doesn't have Raza. I was actually surprised to learn that. I thought I'd got him through all of Nightfall, but turns out I hadn't. So Xandra is running Soul Twist. Dunkoro once again serving as my Signet Spirit's replacement here. Livia runs a Blood is Power build. Actually, I should put Blood Bond on there. Master of Whispers, what you'd expect here with what I've been running so far. And not really a surprise here, although you do not have my usual enchantment hates, so I need to do that. There we go. And then today, since I do not have Raza, instead I will have Vekk here running a Ether Renewal Prot hero. I've always been curious how this build goes. Again, one I've never really run, but this is an opportunity to test it, so let's try it out and see what happens. So, since this is a Asura mission, you can run Not Too Boring, or whatever your Asura title is, get all that extra energy. However, the only enemies here are destroyers. So you also have the option of running your Delver title instead. So generally, you'll probably want to run whichever one's further advanced, which, if it's your first time here, will likely be the Asura title. Because you don't, unless you've been dungeon diving like crazy, you're not going to have a high dwarf rank at this point. So, but since they're about the same, I'm going to go ahead and pick the destroyer title instead. And without any further ado, let's go ahead and get rolling. So first off, what will happen during this mission is it starts off with a defense event for when you approach here. It'll start automatically. What you can do instead is you can say screw that noise, and similarly to what we did with missions such as Nundu Bay, we didn't actually start the waves immediately. You can run around the edge here and reduce the amount of enemies you have to fight off. Yeah, you'll see these golem kilns kind of come into range here. As long as you don't approach the stairs, though, you won't actually start the mission. Once you go up to Ula, Sokka, and Gad, that's when you start the mission. What you can do instead is you can run around the edge here, go across this branch, and you can clear out some of the destroyers up ahead of time. If you don't do this, some of them will join the attack groups you have to deal with. So in my opinion, it is just better to do this first. Ah, it's so nice having a Surin scan. I can just hit through all these blocks. Again, you gotta keep an eye... Oof! Destroyer of Hordes got through everybody. Or the Destroyer of Lives did something. That's possible, too. Oops, wrong skill. Yikes! That wasn't good. Well, we've run into that before. So we got Hope, Bones, and Sinew. Probably will go Bones first. Everybody's getting murked today, my goodness. It's not like my damage is bad here. Just don't have good sustain today. I'm gonna go ahead and give a second here, let Livia get some energy back. Who are you casting that on? Oh, you're casting on Master of Whispers because he's summoning his minions. Okay. Fair enough. This time we're going for flesh first. Xandra, resummon those, please, for us. Ooh, this is going to be bad. Get displacement out, please. So yeah, I've mentioned this before. Destroyer of Flesh can be bad news if you let him in. Oh, I didn't even see there was a Thoughts. I am actually surprised the group kind of held on through that. Although Master of Whispers being at minus 26 isn't great. Alright, so we're through there. A lot of Destroyer of Hordes here. I did not get good crit rolls on that. But there we go. As long as you prepare properly, you don't get completely destroyed by the hordes this time. Just make sure you got shelter active, which I'm going to wait a second here, let it come back. No, I probably didn't need that much enchantment hate, because I'm pretty sure destroyers don't really even do enchantments. They have Order of Pain, I think, and that's it. Kind of watching the destroyers over there. I want to see if they come in. Yep, here they come. Destroyer of Thoughts, #1 target. Good lord, I lost 22 energy. What was that? That was a heck of a combo, whatever the Destroyer of Thoughts did to me just there. But that's why they are the #1 target. Yeah, once you've cleared out these destroyers here, you can start the actual mission. Once we approach, they start heating up, and the actual mission will begin. So you're going to have to defend both sides here from destroyers. If you stand kind of at this central point, you can see if you hold show all enemies, if anything's crossing over here, and you can keep an eye out. I believe you can, yeah. So you can see they're starting to creep over there. Nothing coming over here yet. So we're going to start cheating over this way. Alright, here we go. Yeah, once the Sinew's down, I'm actually going to head over to the other side, because otherwise Gad's going to be in trouble. These things go down. These guys will take out Gad and Ula pretty quickly if you leave them to their own devices. But as long as you've cleared out things ahead of time, you shouldn't deal with more than 2 destroyers at any one time on either side. So you'll have plenty of time, because these guys will self-res once there's no enemies in range. Then you can just go back and forth. especially if you take out the martial classes first. If you leave Destroyers of Hope, usually spirits can just take care of it. Alright, so we have a Sinew and Thoughts, Sinew and Deeds. Go this side first. So you still kind of have spirits on that side to help out. There we go. That's that side done. Ula's getting murked, so we gotta go sprint over. Still plenty of time. The kilns actually have some good health. Once he's dead, Ula revives, and we're good to go. Alright, Destroyer of Flesh and Destroyer of Hope. As long as we take out the flesh quickly, it shouldn't be that big of a problem. There we go. Now we sprint back over to the other side. Sinew and Hope. Looks like the Sinew's nearly dead, so just need to take out the Hope. Now we can take out the one on the other side. Gad doesn't deal with it first. There we go. Alright, we have Flesh and Sinew. Sinew and Hordes, and Flesh and Hordes. They're kind of coming same time. Let's go. This side first. I don't think the Hordes will be able to 1v1 Gad, at least not as quickly as these guys have 2v1'd Ula. Especially when they're under winnowing. There we go. Yes, I need you to keep defending this spot, Ula. Thank you very much for volunteering. We appreciate it. There we go. And that should just about wrap it up. Kiln's almost fully heated. At which point we will go ahead and chill by Sokka here. See if he immediately gives us our beacon. Oh, we'll need to take these guys out anyways, so let's do so. But yeah, generally once you're at this point, it'll fill up quickly enough. Alright, send us sprinting, please. There we go. And that is Golems deployed. There you are.
I'm busy.
Hand me a beacon, please. So the quirk with this mission is once you've filled up the first part, whenever this golem forging bar fills, you can find Sokka here. He'll hand you a beacon, you just drop it, and it instant summons a golem into your party. Extremely useful. And you can generally get 2 or 3 of them going before you actually fight the boss. So, once again,
Oh, great. Another book.
bar is nearly full. Once it's full,
Here
bam.
comes trouble.
And there we go. Trouble for the destroyers, that's for sure. Yeah, presuming you've already cleared all the enemies ahead of time, you don't have to deal with all that much up here. Just have to make it out to the bringers of destruction. And we'll go ahead and get these going. Once these 2 bringers are dead, it is mission over. So yeah, all the Asura missions, honestly, pretty quick. Especially because they shorten the 2 dungeons you have to do. But with that, we are now complete with the Asura campaign. The knowledgeable Asura at this point is completed, and next up will be the Ebon Vanguard side of the story. Which for that, the characters I'll be using is in Against the Char, I will be running my Monk. In Warband of Brothers, I will run a Mesmer. And Assault on the Stronghold will be on my Dervish. So, as always, hope these are useful, and we will see you for the next one.